assume he's been saying that like in meetings too. What's your take on what that means?
I mean, we just I guess we gotta do a better job of throwing the ball downfield and completing balls downfield. That's what I took away from it.
The 2 balls you did throw downfield first half drew PIs, so that kind of worked. And the rest of the game, I mean, this does kind of probably strike you as like everything was great, on Saturday night. But you find the criticisms as the days get further away from the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try to look at the positives of it. My mindset has always been, I don't care about statistics. I mean, I don't care if I throw for 130. This is just my viewpoint. I don't care if I throw for 139 yards in every game as long as we win. And our offensive philosophy is to be as balanced as possible. And so, statistically, you look at the other night and you probably think, if you just look at it on stat sheet, like, man, that's not very balanced. But I felt like when we needed to throw the ball, we completed passes, we kept drives going. Now, is there a lot to work on? Yeah. But I felt like Clemson was honoring. They had to honor both the pass game and the rush game. And I mean, we completed 69% of our passes. So I feel like really, no matter if you're throwing it downfield or you're checking down, if you're completing balls, how many times you see a guy check the ball down and the running back ends up picking up like 9 or 10 yards. I mean, a check down is not a pretty play, but as long as we're completing balls, we feel like, and getting the balls in, let them guys do the rest. And so, we got to be able to stretch the field more because, I mean, we can't be naive, I'm sure South Carolina, when they get the prepping for us, is going to think load the box. I hope they do. We're going to throw it. And I hope we throw it the first play of the game. So, we're just trying to get better.
Well, that's what everyone's thinking. Is everyone starting with South Carolina is going to put 9, 10, maybe 11 in the box and make Hutson Mason beat him. I mean, it's not like that first game this year was the only game you played. You've thrown for 300 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it. And in that Clemson game too, man. If you watch it, we found what was working, and we stuck with it. And that's kind of what you're talking about. The objective of the goal is to win the game. And so, if it's not broke, or if it's what's the saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it. So. When we found that in the second half, where those couple toss sweeps and Todd and the fresh backs was killing them, stick with it. So, I just try to execute what's called, and I try to, be the sheriff out there, leading and directing and getting in the right plays. But I mean, we got to do a better job in the pass game.
How often were you checking down, or were you going to your first read most of the night?
I would say this. I would say there were 2 plays on third down. The one that I threw to Keith Marshall on the check down and ended up dropping. It was I think it was 3rd and long, and they played a coverage where they take the middle linebacker and run them what you call 2 tamping. While the check down probably wouldn't have got the first down, that was one of the very few areas you can really go with the ball, and so. Checked it down real quick, and I felt like if Todd or if Keith would have caught the ball, he would have got 6 or 7. Probably wouldn't have got the first down, but it would give maybe an opportunity for Marshall to kick a long field goal, or just more room for the punter to try and pin him down there. So sometimes it's more of a field possession on 3rd and long than throw a crazy ball and turn it over.
After a big win to start the season like that, are you happy about the bye week coming up to kind of regroup, or would you rather jump right back out there and go this weekend if possible?
I would rather jump right back out there and go back out there. I think since I started when I started against Tech, first off, every game I've had a long break in between. I didn't really like that because once I finally got used to playing at Tech, I felt like I kind of got used to the atmosphere, and I took a long break. And then the bowl game, and then after the bowl game, you have all off season. Now Clemson, now you have another break. So, once I finally felt like at the end of the game, like I was finally comfortable with the situations and the atmosphere and all that, you go on a bye week. And just for me personally, I'd like to play again this week.
Last time I talked to you was last week, and you told me that it was kind of important for you to finally start a game in Sanford Stadium, fifth-year senior. Now that you've had that experience, well, just kind of reflect on what that finally meant for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a best way to really put it is a dream come true. I mean, coming in here as a senior in high school, recruiting, and then to freshman, and all the years I've been here, it's something that I've looked forward to, and I've been competing for several years to try and become a starter, and I earned it, and now I got to continue to earn it.
You also mentioned you were excited for the game to kind of be over and you can celebrate with the fans afterwards, and you obviously did that in front of the student section. I think you led the Rooster chant. How did that feel just to be with your classmates, not just fans, and kind of celebrate?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a cool tribute to just them and thanking them for the energy they brought. I mean, that playing at home, I think you saw even last year. It's an advantage when you can feed off home field advantage, and when you can really just thank those fans and the student section for getting loud on third downs and stuff like that. It means a lot.